Listen, I've kind of mentioned this kind of stuff before. Like, when it comes to fanboy wars of console wars and stuff like that, people only will bring up whatever suits them at that particular time. And when it comes to what Xbox is trying to pull right now, particularly no quote-unquote exclusives for the Xbox Series X launch, now all the Xbox fanboys are kind of in this corner where, oh, well, that's super good for the consumer, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to hold anything back, when obviously this isn't the case. And there's many facts where you can look at something like, why did Death Stranding win Best Graphics of 2019 over Gears of War 5? Well, quite simply, Sony isn't held down by this terrible weight that is to launch Xbox One, where Microsoft is. Point of fact, I bet a lot of you didn't know that the launch Xbox One, due to the lower memory, RAM, and the slow memory and available memory for video games themselves, that's part of the reason why the super duper graphics pack was canceled for Minecraft, because it wasn't playable on it and they couldn't get it to work. And then also you had a situation with Halo Reach, that being delayed because they couldn't get it to run right. And even now, Halo Reach doesn't run great on the launch Xbox One yet. There's other games that ran terribly on the Xbox One with this generation games, but it's also expected to run next generation games for a couple of years. I don't really particularly buy it, and while I do think that Sony will have some cross-gen games because they've said as much, they're also going to launch with exclusives only on PS5 or maybe PS5 and PC. Godfall is a good example, even though that's not first party. But there's also, I feel, a need to reiterate, and I will link this in the description. When you talk about next gen, there was Jason Schreier from Kotaku and other reports saying that he's heard that some third-party games are going to be cross-gen, and that there's going to be first-party games that are going to be PS5 only. Sony has admitted that they still believe in generations, where Microsoft kind of wants to blur the lines. And for me personally, I didn't see anybody outraged or upset when we went from the 360 and the PS3 to the PS4 and the Xbox One. In particular, I bought an Xbox One because of stuff like Killer Instinct, Rise Son of Rome, Forza Motorsport 5, Dead Rising 3. These games were not available on the Xbox 360, and I'm thankful for that, because they were able to take full advantage of what the Xbox One had to offer. There were PS4 games that were the same way, and I really like that idea that they're not being held back, because the whole reason why people tend to upgrade is to get that little something special that can't be done on the current batch of hardware. So if there's stuff that can still be drained from the hardware or put on the hardware that can be used, why bother upgrading or making a new console at that time? I definitely feel like we haven't got the most out of the Xbox One X, even with most developers opting to stay with parity in the frame rate realm and otherwise. So what's the difference between that and what's going to happen next generation? I wasn't impressed when I saw Halo Infinite at this past E3. It looked like it wasn't exactly up to snuff with what I was expecting. Everybody was saying it was going to look really good, but at the end of the day, it didn't look good. And even if you go back and look at it again, that cutscene just does not cut it for me personally, and it doesn't look like something that's coming from a 12 teraflop machine. And so at the end of the day, I just feel like it's good to reiterate. I understand you want to keep some stuff that's cross-gen. That makes a lot of sense, but why not have some showpieces specifically designed for that? Again, Gears of War had to also work on a launch Xbox One. Death Stranding didn't have to work on something as weak as that. So that's why these Sony PlayStation 4 games, even on base hardware, tend to look much better than even games on the Xbox One X. And I think that really, that goes to show you how holding things back has really hampered this past generation for Microsoft. So I'd love your thoughts and opinions on it. Please let me know below. Subscribe, rate, all that kind of great stuff. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.